In this video, we will be exploring the kinds of topics, trends, or activities that many people seem to enjoy, but that INFJs don't find really enjoyable or interesting. Keep in mind, not every INFJ will fit all the descriptions here. This is because every individual is unique. But if we look through the lens of typical INFJ traits, like a preference for meaningful conversations, a low tolerance for superficiality, and an inwardly driven worldview, we can start to understand why INFJs don't find several things that other people really find interesting, that enjoyable or interesting. Take small talk, for example. Many people find comfort in everyday chit-chat about the weather, current sports events, or the latest office drama. It builds rapport and acts as social glue. But INFJs often find it draining or tedious. They crave depth, emotional honesty, and insight. While the rest of the world may bond over light banter at a party or during a casual lunch break, INFJs tend to feel invisible in those moments, as if their real self is too intense or too much for these easygoing conversations. Unlock the power of your INFJ personality. Check out our INFJ Mastery course and INFJ ebook. The links are in the description of this video. Celebrity culture is another area that INFJs don't really find interesting. While tabloids, entertainment news, and social media feuds between influencers capture the attention of millions, INFJs often find it shallow. They may wonder why society elevates fame over contribution or visibility over integrity. The obsession with image, branding, and curated personas doesn't sit well with someone who values authenticity and purpose. Where others might marvel at a viral TikTok dance or binge the latest celebrity reality show, INFJs are more likely to be reading an obscure novel, journaling, or contemplating social justice. Pop trends and mass consumerism also tend to leave INFJs feeling a bit out of step with the world. They usually don't understand the collective rush to buy the latest gadget, or this season's fashion, or participate in a viral challenge just because it's trending. It's not that they oppose fun or innovation. They just question the why behind the impulse. INFJs are naturally suspicious of her behavior. They're internally guided by values, not external validation. So what excites the crowd may barely register with them. Many INFJs also struggle to enjoy sports the way others do. The tribal energy, the competition, and the emotional highs and lows of the game don't always align with the INFJ's inward nature. While others gather for game day and cheer on their teams with unfiltered passion, INFJs often wonder what deeper meaning, if any, can be found in it all. Unless the sport is tied to a personal narrative, like someone overcoming adversity or a team showing remarkable unity, they may not find it compelling. Networking events, especially when framed purely as opportunities to get ahead, can be particularly grating. While many people thrive in these environments, exchanging cards and making connections, INFJs are usually more interested in genuine, long-term relationships. They find performative socializing exhausting. They want to know what someone believes in, not just what they do for a living. Even certain motivational or self-help content that others find inspiring can feel empty or even manipulative to INFJs. Quick-fix positivity, productivity hacks, or overly simplistic mantras about hustle culture tend to ring false to someone who is more interested in slow transformation, soul-deep healing, and existential truth. INFJs often look for resonance, not rah-rah enthusiasm. Then there's groupthink. Many people find comfort in aligning with majority opinions, whether on politics, religion, or lifestyle. But INFJs often feel compelled to explore every angle before forming a conclusion. This need to go deeper can set them apart from those who take comfort in certainty or belonging. As a result, they may feel lonely in a world where being in the know is more important than being introspective. INFJs don't usually delight in the fast-paced, always-on, digitally distracted world many people embrace. While others are plugged into their phones, cycling between apps, and constantly refreshing their feeds, INFJs often feel overwhelmed by this noise. They crave silence, slowness, and the kind of solitude that allows them to process the emotional data they constantly absorb. They need time to make meaning, and meaning doesn't rush. So while most people gravitate toward novelty, speed, popularity, and instant connection, INFJs move differently. They walk slowly in a world that runs. They dig deep while others skim. They live inwardly while the world shouts outwardly. And though that difference can make them feel disconnected at times, it's also what makes them quietly powerful. Millions of people find joy in posting selfies, vacation photos, daily updates, or even meal pics. It's a form of self-expression, a way to feel seen and connected. But INFJs often find this public sharing culture confusing or uncomfortable. For them, visibility is not the same as authenticity. They tend to feel that private moments lose something sacred when turned into social currency. They may wonder what's left of an experience once it's been filtered, captioned, and uploaded for approval. Where others seek likes to feel connected, INFJs tend to seek one-on-one, soul-level understanding. So the performative element of online life feels not just unappealing, but almost alienating. Group vacations or big parties are another example. Many people thrive in those environments, energized by constant interaction, shared activities, and the buzz of being surrounded by friends. But INFJs are highly sensitive to overstimulation and often need time alone to recharge. They may enjoy close, meaningful time with one or two people, but the constant demand for emotional availability in group settings can leave them feeling drained and dissociated. While everyone else is taking shots or laughing at inside jokes, the INFJ might be quietly people-watching, mentally stepping outside of the experience and analyzing it rather than enjoying it. When it comes to debates, particularly the kind that are competitive, snappy, or done for entertainment, INFJs are often disinterested or even turned off. Others may find thrill in the battle of wits or winning an argument, but INFJs usually want to understand, not conquer. They approach conflict with empathy and a desire to harmonize. They may even remain silent in public discussions, not because they lack opinions, but because they're carefully weighing each nuance and consequence. Debates, when handled in a surface-level or emotionally detached way, can feel to INFJs like noise rather than growth. Reality TV is another big one. These shows are wildly popular across demographics. They offer drama, spectacle, and often absurdity. But to an INFJ, they often feel voyeuristic, cynical, or emotionally manipulative. Watching people fight for attention, love, or money in exaggerated situations doesn't offer the depth or truth INFJs crave. It can feel like watching people lose parts of themselves just to be seen, and INFJs, who value personal integrity so deeply, may find that kind of self-sacrifice more tragic than entertaining. Even music preferences can diverge sharply. While many people enjoy upbeat party anthems or catchy mainstream hits that top the charts, INFJs are often drawn to music that carries emotional depth, lyrical substance, or a sense of inner longing. They're more likely to connect with melancholic melodies, poetic lyrics, or sounds that evoke a certain kind of solitude or spiritual depth. If everyone's vibing to a high-energy playlist, the INFJ might be quietly wishing for a slow, reflective track that speaks to something unsaid inside them. The love of spectacle, fireworks, big concerts, amusement parks, and other large-scale, high-sensory events can also be bewildering to INFJs. While these things light up the senses for most people and create moments of communal awe, INFJs might feel overstimulated, disconnected, or even emotionally numb in the middle of such sensory overload. It's not that they don't appreciate beauty or magic. They often do, more deeply than most. But for them, magic is subtle. It lives in intimate moments, whispered truths, and the beauty of quiet connection. Noise often drowns it out. Then there's the cultural obsession with being constantly busy. Many people wear busyness like a badge of honor, stacking schedules, multitasking, and striving to be productive every second of the day. INFJs, however, often view this glorification of hustle as toxic. They need space to reflect, to breathe, and to explore ideas slowly and thoroughly. When surrounded by a culture that values output over insight, they may feel both unseen and fundamentally out of place. Romanticizing chaos or rebellion, just for the thrill of it, also tends to fall flat for INFJs. While others may idolize the bad boy archetype, live for the moment lifestyles, or the wild spontaneity seen in films and media, INFJs often see through the glamour and focus on the emotional consequences beneath the surface. They're not interested in reckless passion or temporary highs. They're looking for something enduring, transformative, even sacred. Fast flings and toxic drama hold no appeal when you're someone who's always looking for soul-level meaning. INFJs also often struggle to embrace humor that thrives on mockery or cruelty. Many comedy shows, viral memes, or jokes that go viral depend on someone being the butt of the joke or exploiting discomfort for laughs. Where others might laugh freely, INFJs often feel uneasy. Their empathy makes them imagine how the target of the joke must feel, and they don't easily compartmentalize that discomfort. Even when humor is harmless, if it feels empty or doesn't illuminate something deeper, INFJs may find it forgettable. Take the widespread obsession with winning, whether in games, business, academics, or online debates. Society often glorifies competition, strategy, and being number one. Many people are energized by rivalry and personal victory. INFJs, though, usually aren't wired that way. They can be deeply ambitious, but not in the traditional, external sense. Winning for the sake of it often feels hollow. They're more focused on inner alignment than outward dominance. When the world cheers for the winner, the INFJ may quietly be thinking about the quiet damage done along the way, the relationships strained, the empathy lost, the integrity compromised. In a culture that rewards outcomes, INFJs often care more about process and impact. Then there's the idea of having a massive friend group or social circle. Many people crave popularity, seek to widen their social networks, and measure connection in numbers. INFJs tend to do the opposite. Their version of friendship is slow-growing, deeply rooted, and fiercely loyal. They don't want a lot of friends. They want a few people who see them without the mask, who get the strange way they think, who don't flinch at the intensity of their honesty. So when they're surrounded by social butterflies who bounce from conversation to conversation with ease, INFJs often feel like spectators in a game they don't know how to play, and don't really want to. Public recognition is also worth mentioning. Many people dream of being known, being celebrated, being praised. It's one of the most common motivators in modern culture, chasing visibility, status, likes, followers. INFJs, paradoxically, often shy away from the spotlight. Even when they succeed, they may minimize their role or feel uncomfortable receiving attention. For them, value isn't measured by public validation. It's found in private alignment. They might care more about the one person they helped change than 100 who clapped. While others aim to be seen, INFJs often aim to be understood, and those two aren't the same thing. There's also a strange disconnect for INFJs when it comes to talking about money. Many people are energized by discussions of wealth, investments, side hustles, and financial goals. Money represents freedom, power, comfort, but INFJs often view it more abstractly. They know it's necessary, but they tend to be wary of its influence, especially when it overrides integrity or purpose. Conversations focused entirely on earnings, acquisitions, or monetary success often feel to them like missing the point. They want to talk about what the money means, what it allows someone to do for others, or how it connects to a life of intention. Strip those deeper layers away, and it all starts to sound transactional. Fast dating, dating apps, situationships, and hookup culture are now normalized ways to explore love or connection. But for INFJs, whose love is slow building, emotionally intricate, and often idealistic, these trends feel alien. Swiping through faces feels dehumanizing. Casual intimacy, without emotional grounding, can feel hollow or even painful. They don't seek chemistry alone, they seek resonance. While others may enjoy exploring romantic variety, INFJs are often looking for someone whose inner world feels familiar, someone with whom words aren't always necessary. That kind of bond doesn't come in abundance, and it rarely arrives quickly. Even the modern idea of self-branding can feel false to them. Most people now present curated versions of themselves online, carefully building personal brands that reflect their best angles, their ambitions, and their story. But INFJs often recoil from the idea of packaging the self like a product. They sense that branding demands too much self-fragmentation, too much polishing of truth into palatable narratives. They want to be known, but not sculpted. Seen, but not spotlighted. For them, authenticity means showing the mess, the contradiction, the shadow, not just the highlight reel. INFJs often find themselves disconnected from a collective comfort many people take in certainty. Others often want fast answers, clear beliefs, defined roles. It brings a sense of safety. INFJs are more comfortable in the gray, in uncertainty, paradox, complexity. They believe that truth often evolves, and that most things worth knowing live in the space between absolutes. This worldview, though quietly powerful, often isolates them in cultures that reward clarity over contemplation. While others go through life constantly reaching outward, INFJs are often journeying inward. It's not because they disdain the world, it's because they see it through a different lens. One that is slower, deeper, and often lonelier. But it's also more attuned to beauty that hides in subtle places. Where the crowd sees entertainment, the INFJ often sees distraction. Where others seek escape, the INFJ seeks meaning. And in that search, they often walk alone, but never aimlessly. Unlock the power of your INFJ personality. Check out our INFJ Mastery course and INFJ ebook. The links are in the description of this video.